But what is the other purpose? The other purpose is to prevent the mind from thinking of everything else, to make the mind go on listening to these words and therefore prevent it from thinking anything else. That's actually a mechanical exercise, so that the mind which is using words to think should be using replaced words. So these become replaced words, and therefore they help you to withdraw the mind, withdraw your attention to yourself. Therefore these words are no use after you reach the first stage of self, of yourself, which is the astral stage. The astral stage, the words have no meaning after that. The only thing that pulls you after that is your own consciousness. And how can consciousness pull? It has a manifested form that it exists even if there was nothing to be conscious of. Consciousness, by its very terminology, by its very definition, means it is aware of something. Otherwise, how can you call it consciousness? To be conscious of something, that alone will create consciousness. If there is nothing to be conscious of, consciousness disappears. Therefore, as an inbuilt thing, the consciousness has its own resonance, that even if there were nothing outside of consciousness to be conscious of, it can be conscious of itself. And that resonance, that power, that melody, that music, whatever you like to call it, is what we call the sound current, what we call the Shabd, what we call the word, what we call the Naam, what we have given so many names, as the creator of everything. We have said that this sound current is even the creator of God. And John's Gospel says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. All things were made by Him. In that Gospel, the Word is placed prior to God. And people sometimes say, well, we worship God, who made God? It's a good question. If there is a God who runs this universe, somebody must have made that God too. It's a power that created, even the God that created everything else. That power was the Word. And its own manifestation is in the form of a resonance, of an energy, of a power, all these words put together, which cannot be described, so we're using wrong words for that. But for lack of a word for that power, we call it the Word. It's for lack of word, we are calling it the Word. And that power manifests continuously wherever consciousness is. It does not disappear at all. It is our only link with our true totality of consciousness. It never leaves us. When we are in the physical body, it is still there. We go into a dream state, it is still there. We go into the astral plane, it is still there. Into causal plane, it is still there. Go into mental realms, it is still there. You go into pure spirituality and become an individual soul, it's still there. You go to totality of consciousness, it's still there. Same power never disappears. What is that power? That power is what gives us the sense, the experience of a self in us. Today it looks like an ego. I myself can do it, okay? Who is that I self? Who do you identify with? Supposing your face changes, supposing you become old, you're still the same self. You never feel the self got old, the body got old. Supposing you go into a dream. In the dream, you have a different body. Your physical body is sleeping. The dream body is going ahead. Which self is experiencing that dream? The same self. If you go to a higher form and the form changes, if you have no form at all, it's still the same self. A Chinese philosopher